Yeah. U3, live from the underground.
Yo, it's your girl DJ Baby Blue Diamond, and you tune in to U3 Underground, Unsigned, and Unknown. And we have a guest, one of our youngest guests on U3. And not only is he our youngest, he's also a DJ. So this is my first DJ I've interviewed. It's weird because a DJ interviewing a DJ. We had DJ AXE6.
It's great to be here. I'm really excited.
I'm happy to have you here. Are you originally from San Antonio?
Yes,
born
yes,
and
I am.
raised.
Mm-hmm.
So you like the whole culture of San Antonio?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's
very
pretty,
mixed,
yeah.
blended. What made you want to get into DJing and producing? What came first?
What really came first was DJing, just for the fact that I always really liked music, and plus I always had my dad DJing because I would always because I was technically his roadie, so he would always take me places, and he would always DJ. So I was eventually like, can I do that?
Okay. Was it as easy as you thought it was?
No, it really wasn't. And then I would just be at the table for hours, and you'd be like, "Oh, great, you learn how to push play."
That's funny. Because a lot of people think DJs, that's all we do.
Yeah, that's all we do is push buttons and turn a knob. But you have to do a
it.
bunch of different stuff and all that. Yeah.
How do you know when to find the perfect mix or the perfect song?
And normally I just read the crowd, or I can tell by the suggestions. Like if people come up to request a song, I'm like, oh, I can play music that's like that, and I kind of go off what they're what they seem to be dancing to, or really just vibing out to, and I just kind of figure it out from there.
How do you handle requests? Because I know sometimes that can be a little crazy.
Yeah, because this is when TikTok was very blowing up. Just for the fact that every single teenage girl at my school, when I did a school dance, hey, can you play this one song, this one song? It was the same song multiple times.
Yes.
And I always gave the excuse, oh, I don't have it, but I can see if I can find it. But yeah,
I gave that excuse a couple times.
Yeah.
I don't have it. Oh, I don't have a hotspot. I can't download it.
Or so sometimes you already played the song. And they're like, hey, can you play the song? They're like, I already played it. Oh, I guess I didn't hear it, but can you play it again anyway?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They do that a lot. You released your first song, Lunatic.
Mm-hmm.
Are you excited? I know you are.
Yeah.
That's a big
It was crazy.
thing.
It was a very crazy experience to go through, from writing the song, then out of nowhere it's just popping on SoundCloud. It was just crazy.
What made you want to release a song? What made you go that route instead of just sticking to DJing?
Well, I've always been really fascinated on how music was made, and I really wanted to learn how it was made. And I'd always see, I would always watch Ultra and Tomorrowland with my dad in the living room, and I'd be like, wow, it's crazy they have many songs. And he's like, yeah, well, they don't really like to show how they just sit at the computer for hours. And it's true, we do sit at the computer for hours.
Yeah.
And then we come up, we sit there for an hour, and we come up with one melody. But what made me really want to release it is that I took the most time on it, even though I wrote it in such a short time. I still put a lot of effort into the song, and I feel once it was done, I was like, oh, this would be something cool to release, and we did, and it was crazy.
How do you make yourself stand out when I know some people who don't really listen to EDM music, they always think all EDM songs sound the same?
Yes.
So how do you make yourself stand out?
This is the best. That's the best thing that everyone's ever asked me. Just for the fact that I love to implement very popular music. Let's say I have this one really EDM song, and there's a Migos song out. I try to mix those top 40 and top 40 hip hop and top 40 reggaeton. I love to mix it into my sets, so it's not oh hey, that was a great mix, and plus it was one of my favorite songs. So that's what I really like to do, is just to make little mashups of music, and yeah, that's one of my main things that I really love to do.
That's dope. I like that. How do you bridge the gap between the older generation and the younger generation? Because I know you mentioned your dad was a DJ in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and now you're a DJ here in 2020, in this age. So how do you bridge that gap with the music?
Well, because I know a lot about 80s and 90s music, just for the fact that that's all I listened to when I was growing up. But now that there's a bunch of pop music, not many people know about that music. So I think it's cool when what sometimes I like to do was to get an old school song, but then I get the instrumental and try to put the acapella of a new popular song that's out now. Yeah, that's really cool, because then people are like, whoa, that sounds cool. What's the other song that's playing in the background? Because I know it don't sound like the original song. and like that's how you like show them that well yeah, there's cool songs from back there then too, like not just now, like.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. Would you ever get into TikTok mixes? Make your own little TikTok short mix? I've seen some DJs do that.
I thought it was cool at first, and then I just really didn't mess. I don't really mess with TikTok. I only just like it for the memes, because just for the fact that like I've seen people try to do stuff and it gets like this decent amount of likes, and then you just see someone dancing, it's like 10 million likes.
Yeah.
So like I would love to try that, but at the same time I really don't. But it's something that's come into my mind before.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people who don't get credit when they do mixes on TikTok.
Yeah.
The dancers get all the credit, and you don't want that. What's next for you? 'Cause I know you're only 13. You're still young, so you have a long life ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
What's next?
I'm really trying to just write a lot of music, cause that's like another route I really want to take, is just like become a producer. And it doesn't really matter what genre to me, cause I love to produce hip hop, but then I also love to produce like house and like EDM and trap and all that. So like that's like one of the main things I really do, is just want to focus on producing music and like getting it out there and stuff like that.
Well, I wish you much success. I know a lot's gonna come your way, and like I said, you're young, so you still have a long way to go ahead of you. Are you gonna incorporate any of your instrument playing with some of your new music that you're coming out with? I know you play the piano, you play the violin.
I want to, cause I've seen a lot of like music that's come out now that like at some point they end up having like a violin playing, and I think that's really cool, and I really want to try to do that. And that is an interesting thing that I really want to do, is like just having an EDM track, and I don't know where you hear like a violin come in like during the melody. Like that would be really cool.
That would be cool. How do you manage to do DJing, 2 radio shows, and school? I know it's a lot.
No, I really try to get most of the work done, like school work. I try to get most of it done, but also like making sure it's good, like getting most of it done as fast as I can. And then like I try to record the mixes like later in the day, cause so I can focus most of the time, like during the mornings and stuff like that, and sometimes in the noon, like to focus on school. But most of the time school ends, I finish all my stuff, go produce, and then like maybe the next day I do school, and then I record like a bunch of mixes, and then I just do that cycle over and over again.
Do the kids at school recognize you? Not just as like the student, but as like DJ AXE6. Like I've seen you on the news. I've seen you do.
Only some people, cause some few people are just like, you just push buttons. I'm like, okay, it's not what I do, but it's but yeah, like a lot of kids come up to me and it's like, you're on a billboard, or like you're on like the news, and I was like, yeah, I was. Mm-hmm. And they're like, that's super cool, and I'm like, well, thanks and all that. And like, and then like I always do like a school dance, and like after they're like, wow, that's crazy that you were like the DJ. I remember when I did the first school dance, like a bunch of 8th graders came up to me and they were like, what, you're the DJ? And I was like, yeah. But yeah, it was really cool just for the fact that like people are actually like, I saw you on the news, and like I saw that you have like a lot of followers on Instagram, and like you're a DJ and you make music. That's like super cool. Like I think that's really cool when people actually come up to me and it's like, wow, what you doing in school?
Now I know your dad teaches you a lot of stuff with music. Do you think we can ever get your dad out of retirement and you two do like a mega set together one day?
Maybe.
And I would throw that out there, Dad.
Maybe,
if you're listening, you know, a little mega set, throw that out there.
Maybe, but like he likes to do house mixes. But for me, I like to do like crazy like dubstep trap stuff. So I think
that's what I'm saying. I can do like a little mega mix. You start off with this little house mix. You start off with your dubstep, mix it together in the middle. You never know.
Yeah, it would sound cool. I would like to.
Dust off the old vinyl. Tell them to dust it off, bring it out. You know, that'd be good. Mm-hmm. Do you ever want to teach people? 'Cause I know your dad teaches you. Do you ever want to teach kids what you do?
Mhm. I've always like thought about. Because people have always come, like my friends, some of my friends like came up to me and they're like I'm trying to learn the piano, and I'm like, wait, I know the piano, I could teach you. And it's fun teaching people because you get to show them all the cool things you can do, and you can show them how to do it, and like I really like teaching people just for the fact that like I'm teaching them something that not that many people can do.
Yeah.
So like, so when I get to show them, I'm like in my element. I'm like this is how you mix like 4 things in 1 second. I'm like, I don't even, and they're like, I don't even know where the push play button is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like teaching people cool things. I like showing them like the cool stuff that like, oh, you can like, since you know how to DJ now, you can like do cool mixes and like play your favorite song and then like mix it with this crazy like other song.
Yeah.
Like I love like teaching people things. It doesn't even have to be just music. Like I could be like, oh, this is how you do this math problem. Like just cool. I like teaching people things. It's like really cool.
Yeah. Has anything changed since COVID? Because I know COVID stopped a lot of shows, a lot of performances, and shut down everything.
It did cancel one of the coolest events that I might have played. It did, but at the same time, it didn't really change anything because I don't really like to leave the house. Because I'm at my house, I have everything I need, I'm good.
Okay, I like that. Now, I know when I'm DJing sometimes I have a go-to snack, gummy bears and Dr. Pepper. Do you have any go-to snacks?
Gatorade. Well, I don't really like to snack because for me, like, it's just weird. I just don't like to eat while I'm doing something because then I could get too invested into what I'm eating and then like the song could be over for like 2 minutes already.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But like I like Gatorade and water. That's like the main things that I have like right next to me.
Now I know there's probably some young kids watching this and looking at you and say, I want to do what you do, or they want to do something in the music industry. Do you have any advice?
You can do anything you put your mind to as long as you work hard at it and you give it your all. That's
you heard that straight from his mouth. You can do whatever you want to. Just put your mind to it, straight from your heart. Now, before we let you go, DJ AXE6, it was a pleasure having you on U3. Like I said, my first young DJ. You're like the youngest artist I've had. Usually they're like 18, 16, you're 13. Give us all your social media links and any thank you you want to give out.
Right, Twitter, we got DJ AXE6 SA. Facebook is AXE6. My Instagram is DJ AXE6 and SoundCloud's AXE6.
Any thank yous you want to give out? Any shout outs?
My parents.
You always got to thank the parents. I like that.
Because they're your number one support system.
Exactly. They are your number one support system. I like that. You heard it straight from his mom. Make sure you go ahead and follow him on all platforms. You can check Lunatic on every thing. Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, all that good stuff. Go ahead, listen to it, download it. You will not be dismissed. It's your girl, DJ Baby Blue Diamond, and I'm signing out.